When I learned I needed to record a read aloud, I did it immediately before I knew what the instructions for the assignment were. And it was my last day at Scarborough Elementary School, and I didn't think I would have an opportunity to do a read aloud again. So I asked my cooperating teacher if I could do a read aloud, and she said, "Of course, I need you to read this book." And she handed me Calvin Can't Fly, the story of a bookworm birdie. Then I asked her to film me, and she said, "Okay." So that's what we'll watch and we'll discuss. I'm going to discuss the ways I could have taught this differently, and I'm going to point out one thing that I did okay. But before we begin, I would like to say that this book is aligned with the Social Justice Standard Identity numbers 1, 3, and 4, which states, "Students will develop positive social identities based on their membership in multiple groups in society. Students will recognize that people's multiple identities interact and create unique and complex individuals, and students will express pride, confidence, and healthy self-esteem without denying the value and dignity of other people." In the beginning of the video, I'm asking students questions that you ask before you do a read aloud, checking for background knowledge, and we do a cover walk and stuff like that. And a starling is a type of bird, like a sparrow or a robin.
Okay.
He was born under the eaves of an old barn with his 3 brothers, 4 sisters, and 67,432 cousins. Starlings have big families. At this point, I would have asked students to make real-world connections and connecting Calvin's family to their own family and comparing, if they have a big family or a small family. Very bad thing. Is it okay to call people names?
No.
No.
It stinks.
How do you think Calvin's going to feel about people calling him names like that?
He's going to feel sad.
Brayden, you raised your hand. Go ahead and answer that.
Sad and wanting to hurt them too.
Well, hopefully he doesn't want to hurt them, but I'm pretty sure he feels bad. At this point, I should have asked students to turn to their neighbor and talk about why it's not okay to call people names when they believe someone is different. Through this activity, that would help students learn the Social Justice Standard number 13, where students analyze the harmful impact of bias and injustice on the world. Here's something that I think I did okay. I just wish I had more time to do it. Well, you know what? That's kind of like us, because we're all different too. Some people like to read. Some people want to do math.
Some people want to draw. The librarians want to do art. I think that's kind of...
So, I wish I had more time to teach this explicitly, and I wish I could have had time to elaborate more on this point. I felt like I was rushed through the read aloud, and I needed to keep the story flowing, and I was on a time crunch. That's the impression that I've gotten from every cooperating teacher I've worked with. They're always trying to get the job done. They have very little time to spend elaborating on anything. In the future, I will teach this book again, and I will focus on Calvin's differences and how those differences helped the whole entire community, and I will link it to the Social Justice Standards